Once upon a time under the sea, there lived a beautiful mermaid named Ariel. She had long flowing hair like the seaweed that swayed back and forth in the ocean currents, and her voice was as sweet as the singing whales that filled the sea with melody. Ariel loved to collect shiny objects and treasures that humans would throw into the ocean. She dreamed of the world above the waves, imagining what it would be like to walk on two legs and feel the warmth of the sun on her skin. Ariel lived with her father, King Triton, who ruled over all the creatures of the sea. He had 7 daughters, each named after a different day of the week, but Ariel was the most adventurous of them all. Her father warned her about the dangers of the human world, but Ariel's curiosity only grew stronger. One day, while swimming near the surface, Ariel spotted a handsome prince on a ship. She fell in love with him instantly and decided she had to find a way to see him again. Ariel made a deal with the sea witch, Ursula, to trade her beautiful voice for a pair of legs. Ursula's spell came with a warning. Ariel had to get Prince Eric to kiss her within 3 days, or she would belong to Ursula forever. Ariel walked on her new legs, marveling at the feeling, but she struggled to balance and move without her fins. She met Prince Eric, and despite not being able to speak, they danced and fell for each other. However, Ursula's spell made things complicated, as she disguised herself as a human named Vanessa and captured Prince Eric's heart with Ariel's stolen voice. Determined to be with Prince Eric and break Ursula's curse, Ariel outsmarted the sea witch with the help of her friends, Flounder the fish, Scuttle the seagull, and Sebastian the crab. In the end, Ariel and Prince Eric confessed their love for each other, and with the curse lifted, they were married in a grand ceremony both under the sea and on land. Their story became a legend, told and retold, about the power of love and following one's dreams, no matter how impossible they may seem. Ariel and Prince Eric's wedding celebrations echoed both on land and under the sea. King Triton, seeing the happiness of his daughter, decided to use his magical trident to grant Ariel the ability to breathe air and walk on land whenever she wanted, allowing her to spend more time with Prince Eric without worrying about the limitations of her previous spell. The kingdom of Prince Eric was overjoyed with the union, and the prince and Ariel ruled with kindness and wisdom. They had many friends, including Flounder, Scuttle, and Sebastian, who would often visit them in the castle. Sebastian, being the musical genius he was, even composed a calypso song for the royal couple that became famous throughout the land. Ursula, having learned her lesson, reformed and became an unlikely advisor to the royal couple, using her cunning and magical powers for good. She even helped Ariel and Prince Eric on several occasions, proving that everyone deserves a second chance. Ariel and Prince Eric's love story inspired many, and their kingdom flourished. They had children who inherited their parents' adventurous spirits and love for both the sea and the land. The family would often go on quests, exploring the depths of the ocean and the mysteries of the land, always finding magic in the most unexpected places. One of their adventures involved finding a hidden underwater cave filled with glittering jewels and ancient artifacts. Another time, they sailed to a far-off land in search of a mythical flower said to have healing properties for all the creatures of the sea and land. Their love for adventure and each other only grew stronger with each passing day. The story of Ariel and Prince Eric became a beacon of hope and love, showing that even the most different of worlds could come together in harmony. And they lived happily ever after, surrounded by friends, family, and the endless wonders of both the sea and the land. The kingdom prospered under the wise and compassionate rule of Ariel and Prince Eric. They made sure that both the creatures of the sea and the inhabitants of the land lived in harmony. The kingdom became a place of wonder, where mermaids and mermen would swim up to the shore and play with the children of the land. Sebastian, now a royal advisor and court composer, would often host grand musical performances on the beach, where sea creatures and land animals would dance together under the starlight. Flounder and Scuttle became local heroes, known for their bravery and quick thinking in times of need. Ariel and Prince Eric's children grew up hearing tales of their mother's adventures under the sea and her magical dealings with Ursula. They were taught the importance of kindness, courage, and understanding between all creatures. As they grew older, they began to have adventures of their own, exploring hidden caves, helping lost sea creatures find their way, and learning the ancient magic that flowed through the kingdom. One of the children, a curious and adventurous daughter named Aquata, discovered a magical pearl that granted her the ability to communicate with all creatures, great and small. With this pearl, she helped solve disputes between the sea creatures and the land animals, further strengthening the bond between the two worlds. Another child, a brave son named Triton Jr., after his grandfather, became fascinated with the magical trident that King Triton had given to Ariel. He learned how to harness its power for good, using it to calm storms and protect the kingdom from harm. The kingdom's archives, filled with stories of old magic and new, became a place of study and wonder for the children. They would spend hours poring over ancient tomes, learning about spells, potions, and the history of their kingdom. As the years passed, Ariel and Prince Eric's love continued to be the foundation of their kingdom's happiness and prosperity. They ruled for many years, beloved by all, and their story was told and retold, inspiring generations to come. As Aquata's skills with the magical pearl grew, she began to receive messages from creatures all over the kingdom, seeking her help with various problems. A group of baby turtles were trapped in a cave-in on the ocean floor. A family of rabbits were struggling to find food due to a harsh winter, and a lost dolphin needed guidance to find its way back to its pod. Aquata used the pearl's power to communicate with each of these creatures, understanding their situations and finding solutions. With the help of her siblings and friends, Aquata was able to rescue the turtles, deliver food to the rabbits, and guide the dolphin home. News of her heroics spread throughout the kingdom, and Aquata became known as a kind and resourceful young princess. Triton Jr., meanwhile, continued to study the magical trident, learning how to harness its power to protect the kingdom. He practiced controlling the trident's energy, using it to calm storms and heal injured creatures. As he grew more confident in his abilities, Triton Jr. began to accompany his parents on their royal visits to different parts of the kingdom. During one such visit, they came across a village that was suffering from a severe drought. The villagers were struggling to grow crops, and their livestock were thirsty and weak. Triton Jr. used the trident's power to summon a gentle rain, bringing life back to the parched earth. The villagers were overjoyed, and they celebrated the royal family's visit.